Welcome to Bible Stories in Pictures, where we build lives through the Word of God. This is where Bible stories come alive with drama, emotion, and powerful lessons that stay with you forever. If you've ever felt overlooked, forgotten, or in deep sorrow, today's story will show you that God sees, God hears, and God answers, right on time. Our Bible story is found in the book of 1 Samuel, chapters 1 and 2. Friends, don't forget to subscribe to Bible Stories in Pictures. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next exciting Bible adventure. Now, let's start the story. In today's episode, we journey into the quiet tears and unspoken pain of a woman who lived in a world that measured her worth by what she could not give. A child, surrounded by mockery and living with the weight of unanswered prayers, she still chose to trust. This is the unforgettable story of Hannah, a woman whose heartbreak opened the gates of heaven, and whose prayer birthed a prophet. The sun slowly rose over the hills of Ramah. Inside a modest home, Elkanah stirred early to prepare for the yearly journey to Shiloh. It was that sacred time again, time to offer sacrifices to the Lord. His wives, Peninnah and Hannah, packed for the trip, though their hearts held different weights. Peninnah, proud and boastful, walked with her children swarming around her. She called out instructions with authority and laughter. Beside her, Hannah walked silently, her hands empty, her eyes avoiding the joyful chatter of the little ones. At Shiloh, crowds gathered, smoke rose from the altars, families rejoiced, giving thanks for the Lord's blessings. Elkanah gave Peninnah and her children portions of the sacrifice, and then he turned to Hannah with a double portion. His gesture was tender, but it could not fill the ache in her heart. Peninnah noticed, again, and like a sharpened blade, her words sliced through Hannah's spirit. In hushed tones but with bitter sharpness, she mocked her. She boasted of her many children. She hinted that Hannah's prayers were weak. She laughed at her barrenness. Hannah's eyes burned with tears. Her food remained untouched. Her lips trembled as she turned her face away from the table. But she didn't fight back. She didn't argue. She slipped away quietly into the tabernacle, where only tears could speak. If you're enjoying the story of Hannah and you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next exciting Bible adventure. Let's get back to the story. Inside the sacred space, Hannah fell to her knees. The world around her faded. Her shoulders shook as tears streamed down her face. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Her heart cried with all the grief she had hidden for years. She made a solemn vow in the silence of her soul, pouring out her everything before God. Unbeknownst to her, Eli the priest watched. He saw her lips moving without a voice. He saw her face twisted in sorrow. Suspicion crept into his heart. He stepped forward sharply, assuming the worst. His words startled her, jolting her from her private moment of agony. But instead of retreating in shame, Hannah spoke with honesty. She explained her pain. She explained her longing. She explained her broken heart. Eli's face softened. A quiet blessing passed from his lips, and Hannah bowed her head, wiping away her tears. Peace settled over her for the first time in years. She returned to her family changed, not because she held a baby in her arms, but because she had placed her burden in God's hands. That night, Hannah smiled again. Months later, laughter filled her home, the laughter of a newborn baby boy. She named him Samuel, for he was asked of the Lord. The same arms that once ached to hold a child now rocked a miracle wrapped in blankets. But Hannah had not forgotten her vow. When Samuel was old enough, she took him to the tabernacle. Her heart broke as she placed him in Eli's care, but she was not letting go. She was giving back. She handed over the gift God gave her, fully trusting the one who had turned her tears into joy. And so, Samuel grew before the Lord, learning his ways, hearing his voice, and becoming a prophet whose words would shape a nation, all because one woman prayed with all her heart, and trusted God with all she had. Lessons to learn from the story. 1. God sees the tears no one else sees. 2. Silence before God can be louder than any words. 3. Pain can birth purpose when surrendered to God. 4. Keeping promises to God brings lasting blessings. 5. Trusting God's timing leads to perfect miracles. Hannah's story teaches us that no situation is too hopeless for God to change. Her journey from sorrow to joy reminds us that prayer is powerful, even when whispered through tears. and what we give to God in faith, He uses to bless the world. If you're trusting God for the gift of children as you watch the story of Hannah, be encouraged. Hannah's tears were not wasted, her prayers were heard, and her faith was rewarded in a way that blessed not only her but the entire nation of Israel. God sees your heart, hears your quiet cries, and understands your deepest desires. Hold on to His promises. In His perfect time and perfect way, He is able to do more than you can ask or imagine. Keep trusting, keep praying. Your own testimony is being written. Are you touched by Hannah's story and want more amazing Bible stories that inspire, teach, and strengthen your faith? Subscribe to Bible Stories in Pictures. Share this story with your friends and family, and stay tuned for more episodes filled with truth, wonder, and godly adventure. Until next time, remain blessed.